Welcome back to Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy right here at Comicstorian. My name is Benny and I'll be your narrator. Now this is going to be issues 3 and 4 of the Harley Quinn Poison Ivy mini-series. To get you caught up to this moment, Poison Ivy died in the Heroes in Crisis storyline, but she was brought back to life, a little off. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy then teamed up as Ivy was trying to get back to a normal life, and you know, them being a couple and all. They were then attacked by another individual who was made entirely of flowers and stuff like that, and after defeating them, they realized that they might need to go speak with the Mad Hatter to kind of put together their own plan as to what they're going to do, bringing us to today's issue. If you want to know what happened in those first two videos, we put it out a while ago. I know I'm a little off on this one, but I'll give you the link down below. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, give us a little bit of a subscription if you enjoy Harley Quinn, and let's get into this. Ivy lay back in the grass thinking of Harley. She calls her Ivy, Pammy, Red. They all sound right and wrong at the same time. Parts of the truth, yet not the whole truth. Maybe I'm the one who isn't whole, she thinks to herself. Maybe something was left behind when I came back from the dead. The Mad Hatter leans forward though. It's no use going back to yesterday, because you were a different person then. He giggles to himself. Putting the Mad in Mad Hatter, all right, Harley calls from where she paces back and forth, when finally Ivy sits up, demanding to know if the Hatter can help her. It depends on where you want to get to, he tells her, sipping his tea. She closes her eyes, telling him that she wants to be able to focus again. So the Hatter reaches into his coat, pulling free a playing card. Harley tells the man that she's watching him as he places it behind Ivy's ear. Oh, that's it, she suddenly says with a smile as the world begins to focus for her. The card suddenly crackles, and the plants in Ivy's hair come alive, defending her and destroying it. It worked for a moment, all the parts of my mind pulling together. Perhaps if it had a more subtle effect. The flowers would remain asleep, he finishes for her. Harley pulls the man aside, hoping to talk to him quietly. Give it to me straight, Doc. Do you think you can pull this off? I don't want to get her hopes up. Then she realizes, hey, wait, are you even actually a doctor? I just kind of assumed with our crowd. Jervis smiles. The rule is, jam tomorrow, he tells her. Harley nods, telling him that she'll see him tomorrow. And later, Jervis continues to work in the shop with sparks flying as he puts the finishing touches on his Harley Quinn's hat. Outside, Harley sets up her next shot, laying on the ground and using her golf club as a pool stick. The ball begins to drift and she calls out to Ivy, and with a flick of her wrist, the grass rises up, knocking the ball in. This place is boring, Harley tells her, ordering her to rest while she goes to check on the Hatter. She crosses through the course, overhearing Jervis talking in his shed. The best thing I've gotten since Bane's been controlling Gotham is these dimwits don't suspect a thing. One little taste of hope is enough for them to dance right into our grasp. You'll get what you'll want, and I'll get what Jervis is stating as Harley is leaning on the door. Well, look what time it is. Betrayal o'clock, she shouts angrily. Jervis takes off his hat, trying to cover up what he's been working on, but Harley rushes across the room, knocking the hat to the floor, revealing the Harley Quinn cap. I appreciate the dedication to my aesthetic at least, she notes, but Jervis moves away. Off with her head, he orders, and Harley smiles, asking the short villain what army he plans on using. And plant-based versions of the characters from Alice in Wonderland suddenly begin to rise up against her. She moves quickly, flipping and punching her way out, and dashing across the course. Weapons, 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 weapons! She whispers to herself fast when she finally finds a selection of golf clubs. Any port in a storm, she shrugs, and spins the clubs in her hands, knocking aside the plant monsters. She tries to leap away, but is dragged down as the vines are wrapping around her feet. Jervis walks forward, his same creepy smile plastered on his face. Let's pretend I'm a hungry hyena, and you're a bone. You're an insult to hyenas! Harley snaps, and he leans forward, putting the cap on her head. Elsewhere, Ivy suddenly snaps awake. Harley! She cries out, and getting up, she feels a disturbance in the green. She stalks forward when she's suddenly confronted by the Floronic Man's creatures. They attack, but they're strangely weak. Ivy cuts through them quickly, and then her form morphs again, and the wooden armor enhances their arms and legs. She smashes and tears her way through the plant creatures until she finally explodes into Jervis's hideout. Give her back! She yells, seeing Harley dressed up as a housewife. Jervis tries to back away from the Green Warrior. It wasn't very polite of you to sit down without being invited, he tells her. You small, stupid little man, I'm going to kill you for this! She snarls, her armor flaring into spikes and fly traps. But Harley wants us to play hero, so I'll try it her way. She pulls in Jervis, kissing him on the lips, and as her toxin takes effect, she whispers in his ear, telling him to destroy this place and plant a garden. a park, a whole forest. Just keep planting until I tell you to stop. Jervis leaves the room and Ivy turns back to Harley, who continues to pour tea onto an empty table. Ivy pulls the hat off of her head, snapping Harley out of her trance. And later the two drive away in their van, leaving Jervis in his own trance. They stop quickly, switching their van for a stolen sports car. How come you didn't kill him, Red? You said we're trying to be heroes. I said I was going to kill him. We can turn around, Pamela tells her, and Harley shakes her head. He ain't worth it. Just keep driving. Just you and me. Harley smiles, and neither of them notice the two flowers that sprouted on Ivy's back. Ivy leans against the window, hating that they're driving through the sunny and dusty desert. How you doing, Red? Much better. Been worse, Ivy tells her, knowing that they're isolated from the greens so that the Floronic man can't track them. Wait, don't plants eat sunlight? Harley asks. It also scorches them, Harley. They roll past a sign for a place called Dinosaur World, and Harley leans over. Maybe we can take a break to Dinosaur World? It looks safe, Ivy tells her. Later, they both stand in front of a Jurassic World of amusement and fun. This place is amazeballs! Harley yells out, waving her arms at the roller coasters and Ferris wheels. It's certainly a word, Ivy notes, and Harley grabs her hand, skipping towards the Triceratops Cafe while Ivy questions whether they're even open. They wouldn't have a sign up if they're closed. Harley giggles, and suddenly they stop as four men with weapons and dinosaur hats yell at them to freeze. Interactive theater, maybe? Harley tells Ivy sheepishly. The men suddenly freeze with fear, realizing that it's Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy standing before them. Ivy smiles. So you recognize us. That means you know exactly what we'll do if you don't lower your guns. The men nod, whispering to the one in charge that he should lower his gun. Didn't recognize you ladies. My apologies. I take it you're here to see the boss. Harley and Ivy look at each other. Yes, sure. The goons lead the two ladies inside, with Harley excitedly going souvenir shopping. As they enter the cafe, though, they hear a piercing scream from the back. Sounds like she's wrapping up. I'll let her know we have company. You wanted to stop, Ivy tells Harley, looking over her shoulder. It looked wholesome! Family fun! The goon motions for them to come inside, and from the shadows, a strange figure emerges. Visitors, Stepping into the light to reveal an elderly woman in a dinosaur costume. What brings Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy to Draco Rex's territory? I didn't realize word of my exploits had spread all the way to Gotham. Harley tries to tell her that they just needed the bathroom, but Ivy pushes past her, asking Draco Rex about her operation. The old woman smiles, revealing her sharpened teeth. Of course, let me give you the tour. She indicates to her goons. Former slaves like me, before I enlisted their help in conquering this place. She tells the woman that she once worked for her by turning it into her kingdom. And now that you're here, we can finally expand, Draco Rex tells them, getting excited. Spreading chaos and pain and death of the dinosaur world down on the freeway and beyond. Both Harley and Pamela just look at each other, arms crossed. Oh, sweetie, thanks for the offer, but we're not staying, Ivy tells her. The goons all gasp in horror. So you're just like them? You think you can waltz in here, then just move on? Forget about me? Draco Rex snarls. Look, lady, it's called a rest stop, not a rest day, Harley tells her. Draco Rex rears back. It's also called a tourist trap. Time for us to make a name for ourselves, boys! Kill them! The goons open fire, forcing Harley and Ivy to dive behind the counter. Next time, I pick where we stop, Ivy tells Harley. Harley throws the shelves at them before leaping over the counter, knocking two of them away with a spin kick. Ivy dashes, drawing her fire, while her vines wrap around her legs, and she launches them into the wall. The two stalk forward, forcing Draco Rex against the wall, and the woman pulls out a knife, tears in her eyes. It isn't fair! It's supposed to be our place! You're ruining everything! Just like them! Always running off to someplace better! And if I have to stay... Harley punches her across the jaw, letting her know that the therapy session is over. And they check back to discover a group of hostages crying in the corner. Don't worry, you're safe now. I'm kind of like a superhero, Harley tells them. Harley frees them, while outside, Draco Rex is trying to threaten Ivy. She tells her to shut up, but soon one of the goons is rolling around on the ground, clutching her stomach. What are you whining about? Ivy asks, crossing the room. Something bad. Bad salad. The goons all begin to groan, and Ivy's eyes go wide with shock as the goons' stomachs all burst open, and Floronic's man's vines all begin to snake out. She slams open the door, yelling for Harley that they need to leave now. The Floronic man, he's found us! Harley and Ivy yell for the hostages to run while they set up a trap, cutting a gas line and starting the microwave. As everyone crosses the parking lot, the building explodes behind them. Keep chasing us and I'll set you on fire! Harley smiles as she looks over her shoulder. But she stops when she sees the vine monster coming out of the flames. Okay, that's not fair, she yells, and the two have to get into the car, speeding away from the parking lot and back on the road. Harley questions how he could have found them, but Ivy doesn't know. When suddenly the vines wrap around her, coming out of the flowers on her arms, and they begin to glow, looking like Floronic Man's eyes. I think I found how he's tracking us, she gasps, and as she gets the vines under control, she looks at Harley. Get the machete. But the machete! Harley struggles, reaching back for the shiny blade, and she swings the machete, chopping Ivy's arm off just below the shoulder, flinging it out the window. There, much better. But your arm, didn't that hurt? Harley asks. But small vines have already begun to sprout from her severed limb. I'll be fine, Harley. I just have to grow a new one. Anger suddenly fills Harley as she smashes the steering wheel. They finally had a chance to be heroes, and they ruined it. Well, I'm done, she says with determination in her mind. We're gonna go find out where the Floronic Man is hiding and take the fight to him. And that concludes the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy storyline, issues 3 and 4. Now, there's going to be one more episode of this. I'll try to bring it to you guys next week. We're not going to make you wait anymore. We're taking advantage of the fact that we're all trapped indoors to kind of catch up on a lot of storylines I've left hanging for you guys. If you hadn't noticed, Flash wrapped up, Justice League wrapped up, and now some of this. We're also getting back to Iron Man and Ghost Rider, so if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to our channel. We bring it to you on a nearly daily basis, sometimes twice a day. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you next time right here at Comicstorian.